Okay, so for fourth period, let's look at the data. How many car riders did I have? How many car riders? Okay, how many car riders did you count for fourth? The car rider count? You don't have it? Okay, let's try somebody else. Oh, sorry. Oh, Jose, how many car riders? 21. Everybody agree? Yes, good, thank you. So for car riders, we have 21 students surveyed that they travel to school using a car. Okay, your car. All right, how many bus riders in fourth period? Victoria? 10. Everybody agree? Good. Bus equals 10 students surveyed. Did we have any walkers? You guys is one, right? Okay, good. So walking, one. What total does that bring us to? 32. So 32 students completed the survey, and this is our data for the travel method to school. Everybody good? So why do you have to do this first? Well, how can I create a bar chart if I don't know how high to make the chart, right? So let's model. And it's just a sketch. It doesn't have to be perfect. So for a bar graph, we have car. And that one went all the way up to 21. So I'm going to count by 2. 20 would be about 7. 4 car riders. Okay. What do I label the y-axis? These are vocabulary things. What is this? These are vocabulary. Yes, sir. How often something happens? Frequency. Frequency, label, display. So frequency is how often. Okay. And then we have bus, so that one was 10. This is label, category. 8, 4, 6, 8, 6, 10. Roughly. Alright, is it good? And then we have walking is 1. So that's a good. Okay. Everybody good? Bar graph. Okay, complete pie chart. For a pie chart, you do have to do an extra step of calculating the percentage out of the total, so that's why I wrote the total down. So for car, we do 21 out of 32 students that surveyed. What percentage did we get there? Roughly. 52, 21 over 32. Everybody else? Right. Okay. Confused, doesn't it? 32 is the total. So can I round to 66? You're good? Okay. Let's do bus. 10 over the total 32 students. What percentage would that be? 31%? Good. 31% for bus. And then walkers is 1 out of 32. So 30%. Okay. If we add all of these, that would give me 34. 34 plus 66 is exactly 100, right? So just rough estimate. Now, when we fill in the sections, remember we have to kind of at least make it look proportional to what this is. So 66% of car riders are in this class. So I know half is half of the circle, right? So a little more than half. I'm going to draw the buttons here. Not perfect, but far more than 66%. Okay? And then make sure you have that on your computer. Alright? Bus riders, 31%, and then walkers was 3%. So this needs to be small. 3% for the walker, and 31% for okay? Okay, the next thing I'm going to have you do on your own is going to be a box plot. Everything here, I can go. Okay, let's recall the box plot that we did last week. You're going to do a box plot, but this time we're doing it for age in years. Now, just a heads up, age in years for this data was calculated just with numbers, right?
Yes.
So, that's why we're doing a box plot. But we are going to be doing a histogram right after that. So in your space right here in front, please only use half of the area for the box plot. Don't take up the whole space because we're doing a histogram right underneath in a little bit, okay? So, I'm going to pause it.
And this happened to you 4 times? Oh. 4 times.
Okay. That box plot was pretty quick to get through. Alright, you can't stop the thing. Yeah. Great. Here's your box plot again. First period. Alright, here's a question for first period's box plot. Don't forget that you click this for the answer. Okay? Now, this doesn't look like the other box plots we've done. Why?
It had like bears and like not. Yeah, it's a small range. Yeah, it doesn't have the other.
Yeah, it doesn't have the whisker on the left, which is fine. But is there a median? Yes. Who's the median? 14. Is there a Q1?
Yes, it's on that side.
It's also 14. And what's also 14?
The median.
Right to that. The minimum. So they're overlapping. You just can't see it. But they're all on the same line. So there's a median, it's 14. Q1 is 14 and minimum is 14. So that's why it looks very short and small. So you still have to be able to recognize that. How would I know there's a median? It's just not median. Remember? Median. Can't you see? Yep, there it is. 14, okay? In case you're unsure. Alright, so if you sketch this here, then it just looks like that. Okay? And what is this data?
Warning card.
A. Okay. Alright, if you're labeling, gotta get used to labeling. Alright, now, this next part that I want to talk about is a box plot. So, what does this box plot even help me see? Well, I saw the median, I saw the max, the minimum. But does it show me how many students were 14? The frequency? No. I can look on my data sheet, but on the box plot, does it show that? No. So this is why we have to introduce histograms, because histograms do show frequency, and I'm going to show you how to do that for the age. Okay, so same data, but it's doing some more. So quantitative data can be reduced to categorical data. Remember we talked about, yeah, this is on the inside side. Remember we talked about changing the height to categorical. Was a way to do that was if I put short, tall, extra tall, right? To make it categorical. But you can also make quantitative data categorical by creating non-overlapping ranges. You know what a range is because you just count out of the one, right? The range of graphs go from the y-axis, right? Negative to the positive. So we're going to create those ranges, but with a histogram, they're called bins. Okay? So bins represent a range, but more specifically, a range of quantitative data. Okay? So if I didn't want to change the height to like short, tall, extra tall, I could make ranges of each height. Okay? So how can we do that with the age data? Because there's only three, right? 14, 15, 16. What do y'all think? Think about your actual age. If I say raise your hand if you're 14, did you all turn 14 today? No, some of you might be what? Before 15. Right, but you're not all 14 exactly today. It's not everybody's birthday today. Right? 14 and a half. What if tomorrow you turn 15, but today you're still what? 14. Okay, so that's what I mean about range. So we have to have ranges. So what if you're 15 today, but in 3 months you're going to be 16? And then someone else is also 15, but they just turned 15. So that's what I mean about ranges. And that's what the bins do for us, is they create that range. So here's an example. For our age, I could have 15 less than or equal to A for age, right? Less than or equal to what's next? If you're between 15, what's the upper? 16. Okay, that's an example. And that is what our histograms do for us. They create these ranges for the data. Okay, so we're going to do one by hand. We're going to go back to front for the age. Alright, for histogram, we have the X and Y. Okay, we have 14, 15, 16. And then since I'm doing a range, what other numbers should I add here? Because there's someone that's 16, but they're probably not exactly 16, right? They might be a little over 16.3 or something. Okay? And then here we'll have to do again. Okay? So what histograms help us see visually with the data is the shape of the data. Okay? Alright, how many people are 14 and 4 2? Yeah. No, like, tell me. From the survey. Oh. 15? Can I get second confirmation? No. 19 or 18? 19. So, we're talking about twos again. 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 18. Alright, now remember, the bins are ranges. So, everyone that's 14 is going to go from 14 to what number? 15, right before 15, okay? What needs to connect to 15? 19. decided to type in to 200. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, because if you're 14, you could be 14 and 1 day old, or 14 and 364 days old is not your birthday, right? So that's the range. Okay. All right. How many people are 15? 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 2, 6. Okay. So 19 plus 12 is 31. How many people were in the survey? 32. So is there one person that was 15 in the class? Yes. So that's good. Here. Okay. You should get to a wall. Okay. Age is what metric? Okay. Alright, and that is a histogram. How do you feel? Feel comfortable with histogram? Yes? Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do it on this move. So everyone should still have their A equals, right? For the age. So undo the box plot just because I don't want it to be one. And then guess what we're going to type? Histogram. Type it. Histogram. Do it with me. Do it with me because the next thing we're going to be doing is a bunch of Instagrams. So we're going to put that on the Okay.
Oh my God. Yo, oh, what?
Alright, now, one thing we need to talk about on Desmos is on paper you aligned it to the left, but Desmos always defaults it as aligned in the center. Please press left. Okay. Press left or not. You're gonna align the bins to the left. These are your bins, okay? So how wide are our bins right now? What are we counting by? 1, because 1 year, right? From 14 to 15 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Okay? Is that okay to do? You have to only 3 ages. You don't need to speak them, right? We're able to see. Why is 14 so high? Well, because, yeah, majority of the people in here are in what grade? Okay, and then we have some sophomores. And then we have some older 9th graders, right? Okay. Alright, now your task is going to be to create a histogram. Okay. You're going to create a histogram for everybody's height. You're doing this one on your own. I'm going to give you time, okay? So everybody go to the next page. But let's look at the data. Let's see if everyone did the data correctly. We might have to omit some. Like the last one. Somebody said they want to.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Oh, you called yourself out.
It was already me. Like, I'm pretty sure it's me. But, like, I didn't, I swear.
Not everyone knows your name or last name or your ID. Anyway, what is it, Matthew, so we can change it before we have that?
What is 5'8"?
5'8", is it in here?
I swear it's written like 168.
168? Because that's what you put, right? Alright. It's okay, it's fine. Okay, I fixed it. You might have to refresh the page so you can highlight. You might have to refresh. Okay. Okay, so you're doing the height histogram. I'm gonna model for you as you do it, but try to do it on your own as much as possible. Copy. You're gonna have to scroll to the right side because we're in the 100s, remember? Centimeters. So it won't be in the front. It'll be over here. Alright, and then here we have this beautiful little skylight of bins. Okay. Now, don't start sketching yet. What should we do to make this more continuous? What should we change in the histogram? Yeah, they're not together. How can I make them more together?
Oh, you remove the X's.
This one doesn't have that. Which part of the histogram can we change? We already centered it to the left. How can I make the ranges bigger? Which part of the histogram do you change? Here's a different way. What are we counting by here?
One.
By one. So what should we change?
The bin width.
Bin width. Yes, the bin width is at 1 right now. So everybody look up here so you can see how you change it. Click it, and then it brings out this comma 1. Jacob suggested 5. Everybody good with that? Okay, let's delete the 1 and put a comma 5. There we go. Let me zoom out. Alright, that's better. That way I only have to sketch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bins. Alright, so everybody's sketching. We're counting by 5, starting with 150. All the way to 190. Wow. Okay, so 150 to 190. Everybody's sketching. Oh, really? Okay. Kayla said you see this is 8. We'll put them all together. You're more than welcome to change the bin width to whatever. Yeah. Just know that you have to show that on your number line. Okay? I'm going to keep it as 5 just because I want to have it. Okay. Alright. Thank you, Kayla. Yes, you're more than welcome to change the bin width now. It will matter whenever we have to analyze the histogram. Sometimes some bin widths are better than others to see the spread. But for today, remember the y-axis is the frequency. Okay. Here's a quick question to quiz you on algebra 1. Which axis is independent? X. Which axis is dependent? Y. Okay, so let's not forget that. I'm going to come back to you. Alright, how do I know the frequency? Well, I think here, we can tell by 1 actually. You might go over to here. That would be 5. Yeah, 10 by 6. 175. Two. Okay. Keep going. One fifty total. What? Okay, both of you. Alright, did y'all see the double seven bins? Okay, from 160 to 170, they're both 7. Alright, walk around. When I step here, it's not too, what is it? One, yeah. Okay. Alright, now look at this Instagram, okay? Now, it's all fun and games. Today we learn how to create it and how to sketch it. Everybody's good with that? But we have to learn also how to interpret it, okay? So, like, how many students, what was the most common height in this class? What would it be? 8, 7. The range between 170 and 175 centimeters tall, okay? Alright. Please don't look at paper. We'll finish the summary tomorrow.